So for a hospital like Quincy, that is baby dish, we can name baby dish, community safety net, community dish. Obviously this has been going on for years, the shortfalls in reimbursement. When BMC filed suit in June, it really, while we all kind of talk and met at different meetings, et cetera, it really, I think Bob put it best, galvanized that each of us individually couldn't afford to speak up, but together perhaps we could speak as a voice. And at that point we went, we talked with our legislators, we talked to our mayors, we actually went into the Attorney General's office with Bob as we were thinking through this. Secretary Bigby actually was making the rounds to all of the baby dish hospitals. She came to Quincy, spent 2 hours with us. And really what it came down to is we thought when we asked Bob to look at BMC's suit, saw a lot in that applied to the community hospitals, and probably, as Senator Morrissey said, even more to us because we've never really been able to speak up years ago.
And it's well, a couple things. First of all, we have great leadership locally. Bob also, ironically, lives in Quincy and is very familiar with the Quincy Medical Center. So not only do we have good medical leadership, but we're able to tap on some local talent to handle the case for us, which we think is important. And where he lives in the community, he's lived here for many years, but he also, this is his area of expertise. And we didn't initially want to sue the Commonwealth. We tried a number of different avenues to make our case, which I think the doctor would tell you have fallen on deaf ears. Now, I have pushed my colleagues to the point where I think I had at one time 17 or 18 of my colleagues voting for an amendment. There's one small opening for us to be able to get some federal money, and ironically, some of the information actually, Doctor, is a little inaccurate. We thought at one time if we appropriated $7.5 million that we could match that with a $7.5 million stimulus appropriation. That actually turns out to be wrong. Our unemployment has now gone up. All we have to do is come up with $6 million, and we get another $9 million. So the state's share has actually shrunk, and so we have an opportunity to do that, like this year or maybe next year. But we've not been able to convince a number of my colleagues that, in many cases, if you take a look at who the baby dishes are, they are the largest employers in some of the most devastated parts of the Commonwealth. The largest employer in Cape Cod Hospital. What do you think the largest employer in Berkshire County is? Berkshire Health Center. So, and Quincy is no shrinking violet in this community either, as far as they are a big employer.
Senator, if there are that many hospitals divergent across the state, what is the impediment among the legislators to help in their own communities? What's the roadblock?
Well, we have a good core of people. Basically, we've identified this divide and conquer mentality. You get a little weak in the Worcester area, and you have people who, generally speaking, are somewhat overly protective of the so-called larger dish hospitals. I think that they have enjoyed a disproportionate political influence on Beacon Hill. And so Worcester, for instance, is a divide and conquer territory because you have UMass out there. And so we think that and sorry to say it's now down to, in some cases, the haves and have-nots. And so we think the treatment that they've given the larger hospitals has been, much more beneficial than the other hospitals who actually do yeoman's work, which we've been able to establish that now.